you for the invitation to be here. What I would like to do is just give you, first of all, a short presentation of Politecnico di Torino, the university where I live and work. Our two schools of engineering and architecture are very similar in size. Politecnico is slightly smaller, but we also share more or less the same date of birth. Actually, Torino is slightly older, 4 years older than Milano. It was initially established as a technical school for engineers, followed 3 years later by a more practical technical school, which was called the Italian Industry Museum. These two schools merged in 1906 to establish the Regio Royal Politecnico di Torino, which then developed over time. Basically, we have concentrated in Torino most of the activities in the 5 main areas, 5 main campuses that you see in this picture. So the School of Engineering is based in the main area where we have our offices, and this area was expanded a few years ago in what we call the Cittadella Politecnica, which occupies an area which was former a large railway maintenance yard. The School of Architecture has the privilege of being hosted by a 17th century castle, which doesn't happen every time. And then we have also other buildings, one for the automotive and design area, and the other one for the School of Specializing Masters. Okay, the budget of our university comes about 50% from governmental funds, and the rest is based on a mix of other funding sources, including European projects and industrial contracts and so on. This is where the investment go in based on the budget of 2016. We are investing quite a lot in infrastructures, in physical infrastructures, also because the number of students has been constantly growing, and so we need space for hosting classrooms and laboratories and all the facilities that are needed for this developing school. This is more or less the size of the faculty. We are about a little less than 1,000 faculty. The staff is also, technical and administrative staff is more or less the same size, a little less than 1,000 people. Overall, we have 33,000 students. I think Milano is close to 40,000, as I said, slightly bigger. And what's important, what has been really changing in recent years, is the share of international students. We have about 16% of international students, which is a high percentage for Italian standards. The other interesting figure is the percentage of female population, which is now more than 1/4. When we were students in engineering, very few women were attending courses. Now it's becoming quite common. Of course, architecture is different. The PhD programs have also grown a lot. Now we have about 700 PhD students. This is the number of graduates we have, about 3,000 Bachelor and 3,000 Master of Science students in 2015. Let's say employment rate is quite good, and I guess that's the same for Milano. Attending our schools provides good opportunities for being employed rapidly. In terms of educational programs, we offer presently 22 courses at the bachelor degree and 28 courses at the master degree, the majority of which is in all areas of engineering, a few of them in architecture. The PhD program is organized in 17 areas, and we also offer specializing masters, which are one-year courses focused on very well-defined topics. Let me skip that. At the BS level, we basically, we can subdivide the courses offered in four main areas: architecture, automotive engineering, computer engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and let's say mechanical. I guess it's not quite correct. It's more industrial engineering in general. And this is the equivalent slide for the Master of Engineering. We also have a petroleum engineering program, which I think may be of interest in many of your countries. These are the specializing masters that I mentioned before. There is an HEThe master, which is not indicated yet here in this slide. We just started last week on energy efficiency in industry, and I'm the director of that master. Is an initiative we developed in cooperation with HEThe, the Électricité de France, which has an important branch in Torino. One of the things that our students enjoy most is by participating in student teams. As you know, Torino has a long-established tradition in automotive engineering, so it's not surprising that many of the students' activities teams are focused on cars and motorcycles and racing and things like that. We have a fairly good number of international agreements worldwide, and many of them lead to double degree programs. More than 100 programs have that characteristic. I mentioned a fairly high percentage of international students. This is the breakdown, of the national provenience of the students. The largest share is from Asia, basically from Asia. China is the largest community, followed by Pakistan, but there is also a fairly good percentage of African students. Is almost 7%, and Cameroon is the number one. And I'm pleased to say that I had a student from Cameroon graduating with me just about 2 weeks ago, and he was also a very good student, and I really enjoyed having him working with me. And this is the trend of the enrollment. As you see, of international students, it was very low just 15 years ago, less than 1,000 students. It has been going up steadily over time. We participate to a number of international networks of universities and research centers, like the European University Association, for example. I skipped the rankings. Research projects are among the main sources of funding for our university, and European projects represent the largest share of the funding we get. To conclude the short presentation of Politecnico, we have 11 departments, and they are, I will say, they can be subdivided into four main areas. Industrial engineering covers 3 departments: energy, which is our department, mechanical and aerospace, and applied science and technology, which basically covers physics, chemistry, and material science. Information and communication technology consists of 2 departments: the control and computer engineering and electronics and telecommunications. We have an area which covers mathematics and management, with the management and production engineering department and the mathematical sciences department. And finally, there is the area covering architecture, civil and environmental engineering, which includes 4 departments, 2 or more focused to engineering, environment, land and infrastructure, and the structural and building engineering. And the other 2 are the architectural and town planning and regional planning departments. Knowledge sharing and technology transfer is also a very important sector. The way our university is developing technology transfer is by a number of initiatives. One is the Interdepartmental Laboratory for Technology Transfer, which represents sort of a contact point with the industrial world. The Business Research Center is a structure which aims at attracting companies who want to do research in partnership with our Politecnico. And it is, let's say, already about 40 industrial groups have become institutional partners with Politecnico. Among them are very well-known names both in industry, in information technology, and so on. Another important initiative which was launched about 15 years ago is the Innovative Enterprise Incubator. Every year about 30 to 40 new companies are hosted by the incubator to help them develop, and after 3 years those startup companies are normally ready to go in the market, and most of them, I can say, have proved to be quite successful. Overall, almost 300 startup companies have been helped to grow since the year 2000. Okay, so this was a short presentation of Politecnico. Just a few minutes now to tell you a little bit about our department, the Department of Energy. A short overview of the Department of Energy, or Energy Department, whatever you want to call it. We have about 84 professors and researchers, and about 160 researchers, non-structural researchers and PhD students, and about 30 administrative and technical staff. So it's a fairly large department. It's one of the large departments of Politecnico. We are interested in basically all areas of energy and sustainable development. Basically, 5 main areas of research: primary energy sources and renewable energy, energy conversion, energy efficiency and in the final use of energy, energy transport and distribution, and applications to buildings. Our department consists of 12 research teams that have produced about 10 spin-off companies. The publishing activity in the last 3 years has been about almost 500 articles on journals and slightly more or less the same number of papers at conferences, 21 books and 5 patents. In terms of teaching activity, we manage 2 master degrees, the Master in Electrical Engineering and the Master in Energetics Engineering. But we also provide teaching activity to all areas of industrial engineering and architecture, and civil engineering also, I would add. At the PhD level, we offer a PhD degree in energetics and a PhD, and we contribute to the PhD in electrical, electronics and telecommunication engineering, which is based in another department. In terms of projects and contracts, these are the numbers of ongoing projects. About 129 commercial contracts, 20 European projects, and 51 regional and national projects. The research facilities, we have a good number of experimental laboratories, a library, and we recently established partnership with industries that have established their own research activities in our labs. For example, HEThe is a company which is active in internal combustion engines. I mentioned also the spin-offs. These are some of the spin-offs that were created by our department in areas many of them are in the electrical engineering area, and also some others in the, for example, fuel cells, which is one of the areas in which our department is particularly active, and also the promotion of biomass as an energy resource. Some of the universities with which we have ongoing collaboration projects in Europe, and not only, also in the Far East and in the United States, North America. We are part of a number of international organizations, REST4Med, of course, but also, for example, DHC+, which is the European District Heating and Cooling Platform, and also RHC+, which is the Renewable Heating and Cooling Platform. We have research agreements with the Joint Research Center of the European Commission, the Civil Energy Institute, which is a US-based network of universities interested in energy. And finally, the Energy Center. I would like to conclude with a few words about the Energy Center is an initiative that was promoted by the city of Turin and the regional administration of Piedmont with Politecnico, and it's a physical place. It's a laboratory that has been just completed. The occupation will actually start at the beginning of the end of this year, beginning of 2017. It will host both international cooperation, national initiatives, for example, with the key players of the energy industry, and also local enterprise. So it will be, let's say, something like an incubator and a business development center focused on energy. We will organize a course in Turin next year, as we hope, and some of you will take place. I'm sure you will have an opportunity also to visit the Energy Center that is, at this point, it's finished. Finally, a few numbers about our budget. Fortunately, it's been growing. We hope to reach let's say, the goal of 10 million euro, maybe possibly this year. We are getting close. And in terms of researching renewable energy sources, we are interested, of course, in energy efficiency in all areas, use of renewables in industrial applications, combined heat and power, combined heating, power generation and cooling, or trigeneration, solar, thermal heating and cooling, integration of renewable sources in smart grids, and designing and testing and prototyping of innovative renewable energy sources devices. That's more or less, it's a quick overview of the activities that we do in the renewable energy sources. Anyways, I hope that you have an opportunity to visit us. With Milano, we are developing stronger and stronger ties, and I want to thank Fabio and Emanuela for being so kind to invite us today, and I hope that your stay in Milano for these weeks will be very, very fruitful. Thank you.